On today's video, we're going to talk about all the lies that are out there because honestly, there's a lot of things that piss me off in the discussion about freelance, and we're going to bust all those myths on today's video. So let's rock and roll. Hey everybody, what's up? So recently I've posted on my Instagram a bunch of these myths that are in the discussion about freelancing, and people went wild. So first of all, if you're not on my Instagram account, be sure to follow because I post awesome stuff there every day. And I do want to expand on the topic here today because all advice, including mine, is biased. We all share what worked for us and what didn't work for us. However, you must understand that when you get advice from people, including me, you get some person's perspective, and that's definitely not like the truth. And I feel like a lot of people present their opinion as truth, and that really limits what people think or understand. And specifically about freelance, I feel like there's a lot of incorrect advice. So today I want to share my perspective, but the point of this video is remember everything, including what I say, has two sides to every story, and you need to make sure that you hear both sides so that you can make an informed decision and the best way forward for you. So let's start with lie number one. Calling yourself a freelancer is bad. Don't call yourself a freelancer. Be a consultant. Because if you're a freelancer, then your clients are going to treat you badly, and they're thinking that you're only going to execute, and they're not going to respect you, and they're not going to pay you a lot of money. This is, from my experience, completely not true. Now, look, I also want to sell strategic advice, and I also want to be a highly paid consultant, and I am. However, when my clients are looking for somebody to help them with branding or help them build a new website, they are not looking for a consultant. The reason is that they think you have to understand what they're thinking. And what they think is that consultants are people who only consult, give advice, whether they need somebody to actually execute and do the work. And while I do give strategic advice and I do help them with strategy and I do help them with ideas, I also end up doing the execution for them. So if I call myself a consultant, they're actually confused and they're thinking, no, this guy is not the right guy for me. Now, it is your job when you're meeting a client to position yourself as somebody who's not just taking orders, but somebody who asks questions, somebody who's trying to understand and trying to bring value on a strategic level so that you can price yourself, accordingly. But that has nothing to do with how you call yourself. And when you're saying I'm a freelancer, that really clearly just defines the way that you're going to work together. You're not going to hire me full time. We're just going to have this contract that, I'm going to help you with one project. It's pretty descriptive to the working relationship, and it just clarifies this. So if somebody tells you that by calling yourself a freelancer, you can't make a lot of money, you can't have respect from clients, that is, I want to tell you from my experience, and I've built like a multi-six-figure business as a freelance designer. I call myself a freelancer. That's not a problem at all. It helps my clients when I call myself a freelancer. So that's point number one. Consider this. Number two, work and travel. Everybody has these days the dream of being a remote freelancer. I'm going to work with great clients and I'm going to travel the world. And look, I know that some people are doing it and they're posting it on the internet, and they're going to tell you that they're going to teach you how to do this so that you can live your dream life and travel and work at the same time. And again, while some people do that, I want to tell you that from my experience, that is very, very hard and not ideal situation, okay? Specifically, when you're building relationship with clients, and freelancing is a relationship business, and when you're working with clients, first of all, the best and most optimal way to work with clients is to work with them face-to-face. Meet them, go into their office, go to meeting, because information flows and collaboration works best when it's face-to-face. I'm not saying that remote is impossible, and I do work remotely with clients, but a lot of how things happen is the best happen when they're happening face-to-face. Now, I want to say, I think look at the world around you and ask yourself, are the best designers or businesses in the world are built on by people who are, traveling remotely? No. So I'm not saying that it's impossible. I'm not saying you can't do this. Maybe you can, but I just want to clarify that it's very, very hard and very, very not ideal. Look, I take vacations, and when I go on vacation, I do work with my laptop. I can work from anywhere, but it doesn't mean that it's ideal to travel and work at the same time. It's very, very hard when you need to think about where am I going to sleep tomorrow? Where am I going to eat tomorrow? It does take a lot of your mental space and mental energy. And when you're focused on traveling, it's very hard to be focused on delivering your best work and best service ever for your clients. So I'm just saying, consider this. For me, what works well, I do work remotely with clients, but I work here in my office. I can focus on doing the best work, and I do take vacations. And when I do take vacations, if I need to service my clients and do some work, yeah, I can work remotely. But that's not how I build a successful business while traveling the world and building a great business. So that's my opinion. Again, some people are doing it, but I feel like this is basically because that's the dream for everybody. Everybody wants to travel the world. Everybody wants to, not be stuck in an office. So it's basically just a dream that a lot of people play on to sell you stuff, but it's actually not a very ideal to build a successful business. Line number 3, freelance is unstable. Oh, you've got ups and downs, and then you have clients and you don't have clients. Now, there's 2 things I want to say. Look, most businesses, which are, let's say, not subscription businesses, have ups and downs and sometimes are unstable. Even if you think about Amazon, there is no stability. Sometimes they sell and sometimes they can't sell. They do have some subscription model with the Prime, but let's assume before they had Prime, sometimes people needed to buy something, so they bought. And if they didn't need anything, they didn't buy. It's not as predictable, right? But if you're serious about building your freelance business like I am, then you start thinking about cash flow management. You know that, when the holiday season hits, not everybody's going to hire you, so you're going to have a low month. And when they need to finish the budget or have a new budget, then they're going to have more money to spend. So that's just understanding the business cycles, and every business has its own cycles. Once you understand that, you learn how to work with that. And by separating your business finances from personal finance, which I recommend doing, I have a video about this, then you can pay yourself a fixed salary even if your revenue from freelance is not stable and not recurring every month. So it's just understanding how to manage cash flow better, and then you can create yourself the safety of a stable income, even though freelance revenue can go up and down. And again, that's true for most businesses. So that's not an excuse. That's not something that you need to be afraid of. You just need to understand that's the business cycle for freelance. How do you work with that? How do you mitigate the risk so that you can have a stable income to pay your rent, your family, whatever. So that's line number 3. Line number 4, freelancing websites are bad. Oh, don't go to Upwork. Don't go to whatever Fiverr. Don't go to them because it's bad. People don't pay a lot of money. People are not, don't respect design or whatever. I want to say, honestly, first of all, I don't have personal experience selling myself as a freelancer on those platforms, but I do have experience hiring other creatives on these platforms. And I know that I have paid thousands of dollars and have built very long-term relationships with people who I have found on those platforms. And just one example is my amazing copywriter, Fabiana, which I've met on Upwork. I've hired her on Upwork, pay her thousands of dollars, and we now have a very long-term relationship. Super, super happy with her. I've met other talented people on the platform and have paid them a lot of money. So I do think, and on the other side, I do know other designers like I think Helen, you might know her from Instagram. She have built a very successful freelance business as selling her services and being kind of a top seller on Upwork. So I do think it is a marketplace. Like every marketplace, there are high-paying clients and there are low-paying clients. And the fact that there is just a lot of low-level sellers on the platform doesn't mean that there's no high-level sellers on the platform and high-paying clients on the platform. It's just a platform. I'm not saying it's the best. Maybe it is the best for you. Every platform has its ups and downs. If you are not, let's say I'm based in Tel Aviv, Israel, so there's a lot of big tech around me. So it's easy for me to go and network. But people who are living outside of big cities, maybe it's not as easy for them to go out and network. And so platforms like Upwork can get them closer to high-paying clients. And so it is a platform. You have to understand the rules of the platform, and you have to understand what works for you, what doesn't work for you. But it's not a general. Don't believe those generalization like this is bad. This is bad because it didn't work for you, but there's other people, a lot of other people that it worked well for them. So just, learn the rules and understand if you want to play the rules and if you want to win, because it is possible to win. All right, I'm excited about this. Line number 5, you won't work on big projects. So I think that was something that kind of made me think maybe freelance is not for me, because I'll always have to work with small, medium businesses and I won't be able to work on impactful projects. But I've also found out to be not true. And I have a lot of freelancer friends who've been hired by Google, by other great big companies, because, the search for talent these days is extreme. And I know that if you're now in a position where you don't have a lot of opportunities, it might sound ridiculous to you that I tell you that big companies are looking like crazy. They're like really hunting for talent. They're willing to pay a lot of money to find the right talent, and they're hiring because they can't hire all their full-time position. A lot of them are also hiring freelancers. That's why Freelancer today can enjoy working with big companies, maybe big tech companies or big companies in general, enjoy their big budgets, enjoy the impact of working on big projects. You just need to get yourself in the position to enjoy these opportunities, but they are out there and it's completely possible if that's what you're looking to do. All right. You must have a portfolio website. That is the last one. And I know that I am a little bit to blame about this because I yell this all the time that you need to have a portfolio website. But the truth is, if we're being honest here, this is completely real talk. It's not necessary, right? Will it be helpful? Yes. Will it increase your possibility of your chances of getting hired and getting seen and getting exposure? Yes, it is. Is it necessary? Is it mandatory? Do you must have a portfolio website? Now that the truth is that it's not. I had a lot of years where I didn't have anything up, or I had something very old and updated, because the way that I get clients is by network, referrals, and recommendation. Those things are so much stronger than, seeing a random website. And again, most clients do not know how to judge a website, do not know how to judge your portfolio. So a recommendation from somebody else is so much more stronger than just browsing through a website that, it's not mandatory. I do think, again, I do think that it's helpful and you should do this, but do not use this as an excuse to say, well, I'm working on my website and I've been working on it for 7 months now, and until it's not ready, no, I can't go out and get clients because I don't have a website yet. So many designers are using this as an excuse to not go out, to not close sales. And I'm just telling you, this is an excuse. So stop with the excuses. Yeah, work on a website, but do not use this as an excuse to not go forward, to not starting your freelance business, to not starting getting client and putting yourself out there, whether you're doing it on social media, on freelancing website or whatever. No excuses. You can go out there and build yourself a freelance business. This kind of videos get me so pumped up and excited because I love freelancing. And I know how hard it is, and I know so many people give this a try, fail, and give up and go back to working a job which they might not necessarily love so much. So I do hope that you take the time to learn the ins and outs. You listen to multiple and different opinions from different people who have different opinions. There's a lot of ways to do this. There's not just one way, the way I did it or the way somebody else did it. There's a lot of ways to do it, and you can be creative and you can find what works for you. I'm very passionate about this, and I want to help you do this. If you're not subscribed, come on, subscribe to this channel, because I'm putting up a lot of videos about design, freelancing, web design. So I'll see you on the next video.